Welcome to ZSR! Good morning to all the Americans, good afternoon to all the Europeans, and the Asian folks. Have a good evening. Welcome to the OoT GSR. That was, no, I'm wrong word, but a few months ago. Tournament. Lower bracket round 7, SEMA vs TKC. And we are pretty much ready to go. So, let's mute the music, and let's switch to layout. And let's say hi to the comps, to Mopsy and to Beefray. Hey guys.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Well, I'm excited for this race. It's going to be pretty hype.
I'm so excited, I decided not to sleep just to commentate it.
Really? Me too. It's the battle of the J-Peeps. One of them is going to be going on to losers finals, and the other one is going to be going home. Looks like the race is just about to start.
They're both on VC, right?
Yeah, there's no N64 runners left in the tournament.
Well, makes it a little bit easier to follow then. We'll know exactly who's ahead and behind the whole race.
All right, and they are off. So CMA does have the much better personal best time in the category by about 2.5 minutes, but CMA does have a pretty good opponent in TKC because TKC has been very consistent. So
yeah, and in the races, consistency is a really big deal. Just last week when we almost saw Judo with a higher PB as well, almost took it down from the CMA as well.
Yep, it was a pretty close one last week there versus CMA. So I mean, I'm sure CMA is well aware that anyone left in this tournament can take a game off of someone else. So.
Oh yeah.
Especially, you know, there's a lot of run killers, and well, not so much run killers on BC, but I mean, they're kind of race killers in that if you screw them up, you're going to be behind 3-4 minutes, which can be pretty hard to recover from.
Yeah, the big ones we're going to see is if any of them make mistakes at boat skip or at spirit hover, just kind of the big places where the race can just get determined.
Yeah. As well as dying to double knuckles, Ganon, Dwarf, or Ganon are also pretty bad, but not quite as bad.
They're both just going through the intro right now. It's been 20 years and Navi still hasn't learned how to not hit this fence.
There she goes. Bonk.
Come on, you've flown this route 1,000 times, Navi.
Maybe Navi's blind and communicates with sound, and she just says, like, hey, and listen to, like, you know, echolocate her way around. Do you ever think of that?
No, you know what? I did not consider that.
And I mean, I didn't hear her say hey or listen right before she bonked into the fence, so.
I think she doesn't.
Navi's pretty much a bat. Meanwhile, the bats in the game can actually see pretty well.
Unfortunately, to many a glitchless run.
Alright, so both runners are on VC, so that means they're going to be collecting sword, and then collecting rupees to buy a shield. And I imagine both runners are going to go for a West Escape. But we will have to wait and see.
I think I remember TKC going for it. I don't think he got it in the last race, but I think
there's really no downside to going for it. You know, if you screw up, then you just go for Pokey Escape, so.
Yeah, I mean, you lose a couple of seconds, but the payoff's worth it. It's not really
Yeah,
that
I
much of a
mean, you're
risk.
still westing your way towards there, which is pretty fast, so...
Yeah, the only really bad thing is if you go for the one right outside the shop and miss the west, then you
Yeah,
lose.
off the little stepping stone there, yeah,
Yeah.
that one there is pretty punishing.
Both of them got pretty good sword times. See, TKC chooses a different place to equip his sword than CMA.
Yeah, entering this tunnel just seems to be like the stereotypical place for about like 90% of runners.
Yeah, I
For
think it
no
was in
reason,
the
but...
Michael Radar tutorial to equip it there. That's why I think a lot of people do.
Well, I mean, people were doing that before the Michael Radar tutorial even.
Oh, really?
That was
Yeah.
just like the spot to equip sword. Ooh, failed bridge clip by TKC.
And CMA got it first try, but second try by TKC, so not that bad.
But we now have a distinct leader by a couple seconds, so...
Yeah, there's nothing else that could decide this, right? We may as well call it now.
Yeah.
This was actually Sword and Shield RTA.
CMA gets the risky West off of the little pillar. Does not get the
Almost.
West escape.
That left side one is so hard for me.
That looks good from TKC.
You did get it.
So they're actually pretty close to even there because TKC still has to equip his shield at some point. Actually, I guess he can wait until equipping Ocarina, so he should be ahead by a couple seconds now with a good West escape.
Yeah, because the CMA is still gonna have to make that pause.
Yep. So both runners are collecting their Ocarina. They don't need the Ocarina for a whole lot in the route, but they will need it for a trick coming up quite soon, as well as playing, I think, 2 songs in the rest of the route.
Yeah, I think it's actually just one. No,
It's Zelda's
two.
Lullaby
Yeah,
and Minuet.
Minuet. That's the other one. Sometimes there's a third if they miss. If they miss
Spirit
a
Hover.
Spirit Hover, then we get to see the rare third song. Ooh, TKC is gonna go for the owl skip. This is interesting. I know CMA goes for this in runs, and he's choosing not to in the race.
Yeah, if you fail this here, it's very bad because you're gonna get to Kakariko late, and then you're gonna get to Market late.
Oh, he decided to use the pause to angle change. Smart.
Yeah, because he's gonna need his shield equipped before getting to Kakariko to go for ISG off the Cucko, so...
So that first owl skip's now gonna make KC look like he's behind until crawl space, but that's when he'll make the time back up. Just because he won't have to sit around waiting until morning. Or night. No, morning. That's the one.
Yeah, not a huge time saver, but does save a couple seconds, so... Assuming he gets his C-Lock and everything else correct.
Both of them are also gonna get the Cucko dive.
Yep. Good job getting ISG. That ISG can sometimes be a little tricky to get there. The Cucko sometimes
Yeah,
just
especially
doesn't
if you
want
hit
to be in
the
range or you hit them.
Oh, it just seems to lag so hard that it's really hard to adjust. Oof.
Ooh, big oof.
Never seen that side hop strat to try to get through there.
I know, but they both used it, so it must be a Japanese thing.
He might still be able to get first cycle. Oh, now he's not.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for TKC. CMA with a good ocarina dive. Manages to get into the basement here and is now going to float up in the little water here. Normally the ankle deep water actually extends all the way down, so you're able to float all your way up to the bomb shoes with it.
Clean ocarina dive despite not getting.
First cycle.
Teammates going to save. He did this last week too.
Yeah, I remember him
Now-
going for a save
yeah.
warp there. I believe the dead hand is slightly faster on BC2, but everyone's got their own personal preference of what they like to do, and you know, either way, it's a matter of a second or so.
Can't quite remember how much this one saves. The only timing video I've seen for that is includes both owl skips too. So
Yeah, if TKC has anything to say about this run right now, he won't be talking to any owls, hopefully. Little setup there from TKC to ensure that he has a good angle to cross the bridge and make it over to the gate here.
so you can see TKC's damage route leaves him at 1 heart entering castle, so he's not gonna have to get damaged down by the by the Skulltula in a castle courtyard here.
Yeah, like CMA just did.
Which I guess if you're not doing first owl skip, maybe it just doesn't matter. If you're not doing either owl skips, maybe it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not doing either owl skip, you've got so much extra time, it doesn't really matter.
Oof.
Where you damage yourself down. Ooh, TKC does not get the owl skip, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that one's not so bad. Except it gave him a super bad camera after.
Yeah, the camera just kept twitching on him there, that was pretty
camera-
different.
Camera was not on his team. CMA gets the damage boost.
Unbuffered. Ooh, TKC's setup doesn't get him lined up with the edge properly.
This seam can be such a troll sometimes.
Yeah, even with the setup there, if you do anything wrong in the setup there, which you're trying to go pretty fast with, you can run into some issues. So now CMA is definitely in the lead after that attempt at the seam lock as well as the second cycle in bottom of the wall.
Yep. We'll see by how much here. TKC got the damage boost as well.
So at 1327-ish Zeldo for CMA, we'll see exactly how far TKC is behind. I'm gonna guess at least 30 plus seconds though.
That's my bet as well.
See if TKC.
He didn't want to take the.
I think he could have gotten by right there. He definitely had time to side hop there and make it up in the top right, but this is only like a second slower and pretty much 100% can't screw that up, so.
Alright.
Well, it's about 40 seconds.
40 seconds?
Actually, maybe more.
No, 50. 51.
50, yeah, 50. Ouch.
It didn't feel that bad, but.
Yeah, it didn't feel that bad, but I guess, I mean, second cycle and bottom of the well
second
was
cycle is
about 30
25 seconds, right?
almost. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
25-ish. And then with going for owl skip and failing it, and then failing to get the seam lock there for a couple tries, or a couple too many tries, I guess. Does have him in quite the deficit now, but there's still a lot of run left and a lot of places for TKC to try to make it back.
Just Child. Child is like a whopping 17 to 18 minutes of the run, and then you got another hour after that.
Yeah, and I mean, Child is pretty much cutscene percent as well. You've got opening cutscene, this cutscene, all the owls, and entering Kakariko, etc.
Even the entering Lake, or not, entering a Hyrule field is even. Doesn't seem lengthy, but it actually is a decent length for an intro cutscene.
An Ocarina cutscene itself is also like a minute, I think, so.
Yep.
You're not doing a whole lot of playing, you're doing a lot of cutscene watching just to make room for not too many cutscenes as adults, so. The CMA is just about done talking to Zelda here.
Fortunately, neither of them lost any shoes in Child.
Well, don't jinx it yet. CMA going for a shoe trick as we speak. Does get it though.
I felt pretty confident in that one.
Yeah, it's a pretty difficult trick to mess up, but every now and again it just doesn't work.
If one of them was on N64, oh, never mind. I thought CMA was TKC. I was like, oh, is TKC just not gonna go for it? On N64, that trick is a little bit tougher, but
I wouldn't say that it's really tough. You've got a 3-frame window to start sidewalking. And it's like a really apparent 3-frame window because the flashes of the chew work out that it's, you know, dead on black or the frame before or after, so.
Imagine if it was like one of the obscure darkening frames.
The middle one, so you can't really tell if it's like how dark it is and you're squinting at your TV.
That would be enough for me to go from enjoying the N64 route for this category to...
Ooh, clutch back out. I'll have to go for a second attempt at dot skip.
And got it on the second one.
At least he failed it the good way.
Oh yeah.
Got to keep his angle, got to reset everything up, so.
Didn't have to wait for Link to fall into the abyss for 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, it just loses about 30 seconds. I've done that many a times to know it's about a 30-second time loss.
Yep, so have I. And I buffer it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I buffer too, but I have to go for swordless dot skip, so it's a little
So do I.
different. I've been practicing it, though. I've been hoping to put unbuffered dot skip into my run soon.
What I have a awful habit of is I'll have a sword, and I'll be so used to doing swordless, and I'll just end up going for swordless.
Well, I mean, at least you can still do it. It's better than going for sword when you don't have one.
Yeah.
Both runners with pretty decent times getting into their Master Swords here. Just a touch over 19 minutes is still respectable from TKC. And CMA should be roughly about 50 seconds ahead still. Neither one of them has done anything that would have really made a difference since we last checked times.
Did TKC get first try dot skip? I mean, that'll be like
Yeah,
a couple of seconds,
he
but
paused on the frame to make sure, you know, he was holding the right direction when he jump slashed, but he did get a first try. So he might have saved like 2 or 3 seconds there, but nothing too major.
yeah, nothing major.
This is the beginning of Master Sword cutscene here. It's quite a long cutscene in total. It does kind of have 2 different parts to it, but it runs, I think, 4 minutes?
Something like that.
I think like 4
Is that
minutes and like 4 seconds or something.
the worst part about this cutscene is I still forget that there's the second cutscene right after.
Yeah,
So I'm
you
like,
think
all
you're
right, it's
done.
done. I
But
still get debated by it. It is, according to this document, 4:07.
is that BC timing or N64 timing?
ETJP. That's including Chic.
Yeah, basically from control to control.
hmm I think Datso made the sheet. I don't know how he timed it, but
I would assume from A press on Master Sword until you get control after talking to Sheik would make sense. Heavy Runner kind of gets used to the music here, and you just kind of mash along until a certain part of the music comes along, and then you're like, oh, it's game time.
this is when I always do hand stretches during this cutscene. To everyone else watching who's a
Yeah.
runner, you should be doing your hand stretches during this cutscene as well. They're important.
CMA is not going for any equips just yet during that save warp there. Is it faster on VC to equip there? I know it is on N64, but
No, you can go get the hook shot and then make your first equip after you.
do everything, yeah.
Yeah, you can just go hook shot plus choose, and then go into Shadow Temple.
Alrighty, so next stop for CMA is he's actually taking Sheik's advice and going to the graveyard for the hook shot. That's basically what Sheik tells you at the end of the
Oh
cutscene
yeah,
there.
that is what she says, isn't it?
Is you know, if you believe what I say or trust me or something along those lines, then you should go to the graveyard. So for once, we're actually listening to the game and doing what it tells us to do.
So this is intended percent, is what you're saying.
Briefly, yes. So now's a good time to try to get in some Dompe times for CMA and for TKC shortly after.
I'm betting a 48 and a 47.
But you're not going to specify for who, are you?
Yep, nope, absolutely not.
Well, CMA gets hit by one fire there, so chances are he's looking at either a 48 or 49 at least.
Oh,
Scary fireball there. If you get knocked back underneath one of those crushing doors, you go all the way back to the beginning of the race.
and I did not guess a void out, don't finish, so
Yep.
that would have been an L for me.
TKC opting to let the Poe hit him off of the grave to get down slightly faster. CMA opted not to go for it. Maybe he just wants to keep his health just in case.
That's an interesting one that because it forces you to get health on your way to boat skip if you do that. I always wondered. I see people do it. I'm assuming someone knows if it's faster or not.
Yeah, I mean, the one heart you can get along the way only takes, like, not even half a second extra, I'd say.
That's true.
Because you already have to, like, it's already quick to jump slash at the hidden wall, so you might as well try to aim for the pot with that jump slash.
Well, I got the 47 right.
A respectable time there from TKC. I missed what CMA's was, but after...
It was a 51, pretty sure.
Yeah, that would make sense. So, CMA going for a trick that can only be described as black magic. Because the actual explanation for it is pretty lengthy. But basically, you're preserving the velocity of the hook shot there upwards. When invincibility frames, they're able to shoot all the way up to the seam, and then use ISG so that they don't fall off. And then by going over the loading trigger of that staircase there, they actually don't spawn the door or any of the torches that would normally need to be lit to get into Shadow Temple. Thus, you know, skipping the need for Din's Fire or fire arrows or anything like that.
I've seen some people light all of the torches with arrows in randos before. This looks like a much more fun strategy than that.
Not quite a one cycle, but we'll call it a 1.5 cycle from CMA. It's still in the first cycle, but it's a little slower than it could be. TKC hot on his trail, making his way through the hidden corridors now.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah, I think TKC likes to use nuts on I think the Stalfos and maybe the lizards in the castle climb.
I think I remember last week he did the nut strat for the...
Oh, that's true too. He could be going for the
Or not last week, last time I saw him.
strat.
I believe, not last week, but last time I watched him, I think was right after the setup came out. I think he failed it a couple of times. I imagine he is more practiced at it now.
Ooh, the one pause from CMA. Oh, does not get it though. It looked like he had the right grab frame, but he must have rolled on an improper frame. Kind of the scary part of going for this unbuffered.
Got it on the second try.
TKC gets his boat skip. We'll see if he can follow it up with a good BK skip.
I can never imagine one pausing the Chi version of this boat of the BK skip, but watching CMA do it, it's one of the coolest looking one pause tricks.
Yeah, you definitely need balls of steel to go for it, though.
Is that the second?
Ooh,
ledge
yeah,
grab?
it's an extra frame from TKC. Yeah. That's going to be a couple minutes of time lost there. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Did he save before or after hover boots? Or
I
before?
certainly hope he did. He might have saved after, though.
I mean, if he reset, I'm assuming he saved somewhere.
Yeah, he's got 7 bomb shoes, which means...
That means he saved after boat skip? Oh, he probably saved on that pause? No. So he'd have 6.
I think he saved during the Mega Flip. While equipping boots or something. Because he's missing 1 bomb shoe. Alright, we'll see how round 2 goes for TKC here. Looks like TKC is going for the classic 3 pause.
4. It's 4.
Well, does get the frame this time.
Yep. So it looks like CMA is officially an entire bongo fight and cutscene ahead. However long that is.
It's one of the shorter cutscenes. I think it's
A minute.
just a little bit over a minute. Yeah.
Or a minute 7 or something like that. It was definitely one of the shorter ones.
Not quite as short as Spirit, but good bongo fights from both players, though.
As long as you get ISG pretty quickly, not much can go wrong there. But if you miss the first or second one, then it can become a pretty scary fight pretty quickly. But usually you don't see much go wrong there.
Yeah, not with these experienced runners here. They're going to be able to get ISG probably first try, 99% of the time.
Skipping the heart container.
Yes, CMA with the heart container too. I think CMA was skipping the heart container last time.
Yeah, he said it was because he knew he was behind, because his child section was really bad.
Oh, right.
So he skipped it to try to get to come back.
Yeah, although it doesn't really save that much time, because then you have to get the hearts outside of DC anyways.
Yeah, well, Cruxer pointed out that it does on VC because you have to go. You do have to take you do lose a bit of extra time on the damage route to minuet skip. So on VC it is a little bit better, or it does save a little bit more time than on N64 to skip that heart container, but it's still pretty small amount of time. Spirit one, however.
Alrighty, so Sime has gotten his bomb bridge, bomb stairs down now, and is just going to be making his way towards bombs now. This dungeon is much quicker as an adult. You can climb up and hit that first switch in the main room instead of doing probably about half the dungeon. And then you're able to skip most of the rest of the dungeon by being tall enough to make a certain jump coming up here after this bridge to make it right over to the bombs.
They are both coming up after this. They will be coming up on 3 Chew Spirit Hovers in a little bit. So, and they both are on 3 Chew Spirit Hovers. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. Last week we did see CMA pull off the 1 Chew Spirit Hover.
Yeah. So I'm sure both runners are going to be more than happy to be going for a 3 Chew hover. That's well within the wheelhouse of their abilities, so.
Absolutely.
CMA gets that jump there. That jump can sometimes just be silly and Link just walks off the edge without jumping.
Opting to not go for the Hess. The Hess doesn't save very much time and it makes explosive routing pretty tight.
Yeah, N64 it saves quite a bit more time just because there's a lot of lag here, and the quicker you can get through the laggy area, you know, the quicker your run's going to be.
Yeah,
but
on the rare event, I do get that Hess there. It feels like backwalk speed almost. Still.
Yeah, but backwalk speed feels like forward walk speed there. I'm not sure why TKC opted to grab the heart and the rupee. I'm sure the rupee was him just trying to get the remember which pot had the heart in it, but you shouldn't need health before making it up to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And you get full health once you're there. I mean, he didn't go for the heart piece, maybe because he's blind. He was trying to go a little quicker. And now he's getting beat up by all the keys.
We did say the bats in this game do have good vision.
They do indeed. They are definitely not using echolocation. So this backflip into that boulder there is just to hit a golden sculptula who's hidden inside of there, and it'll actually lose a full heart for CMA, since right now both runners are going to be trying to damage down when they're in this segment here, so that they can kill themselves doing the minuet skip. So backflipping into that sculptula you can't see in the rock is just the quickest way.
It did turn out to be a pretty good idea for him to grab that heart after those keys. Just because this climb with only half a heart here could be pretty scary sometimes.
Yeah, especially because it's quicker to, you know, let the bomb hit you there and let the bomb hit you when you're going into magic. So ideally, He doesn't want to get hit anymore because it's gonna slow him down a little bit. I haven't seen anyone start the backwalk there like CMA did, but I liked it.
What did he do? I was watching TKC.
Oh, he turned around like and had the angle like when he was still up on top of the bushes and just kind of like kept the backwalk going all the way from like on the bushes, backflip down, and then just kept backwalking all the way past the mob line.
He likes to do that there.
So CMA just died at the same time he entered the minuet of Forest cutscene. So he didn't actually have to watch the cutscene, but was still able to get minuet, which he's going to use after Spirit Temple to get back to Forest. Nice test from CMA as well.
Yep.
Gonna be making his way towards Spirit Temple next. I think he's gonna have to swap his Hess to the other way there. Yeah. Pretty much a picture perfect test from CMA there.
And pretty importantly, he didn't fail it at all, so he didn't lose any bombs on the way down, on the way over here.
Yeah, I think with 3 chews the bomb counts should be pretty good, but I think it looked like he almost had the Hess and then dropped it there or something.
That's definitely what happened. That Hess is a little tricky. That there's a slight slope there, but it doesn't look like it, so.
Yeah, there's the one spot if you like, and it slopes up the other way too, but if you put the bomb in the one spot there, you can treat it like there's no slope, because the 2 slopes actually end up canceling each other out, basically.
I did not know that.
It's a kind of precise spot, it's like 1 stepping stone up this incline.
You'll see TKC do the same thing you're talking about here. Looks like it. He's doing that.
No, he kept his forward angle all the way.
Oh.
CMA was like 180 while he was still up on top of the shrubs. We'll see if CMA can get the coveted full wasteland Hess here. Big time saver if you can get it down correctly, and pretty big time loss if you end up voiding
like
Caster
that.
Curse. Whoopsie daisy, sorry CMA. Well, that'll give TKC a slight bit of time to try to catch back up, but
The second half of that Hess is pretty tough. It's a pretty tight area you have, and you're moving very quickly.
yeah, and it's, sometimes when you try to swap from left to right, you are kind of on the cusp and it vibrates back and forth and you end up not being able to turn when you want to turn. Ooh, failed test from TKC. Hopefully he gets number 2.
Buffering test.
Making sure he gets the Hess there because of his bomb count most likely. Wants to go for the low height ground clip gate skip instead of the old school one with hover boots.
Yeah, and this has saved so much time that even if you pause, like it's definitely still a very good Hess even if you pause it.
Yeah, or even if you have to pause to swap angles or something like that, it's still, still worth it in the long run. So very important time for his CMA here. He's going to be going for his Spirit Hover here, and he's only got 11 explosives on him, which basically means he has to be pretty good with his explosives here.
He has one extra, I believe. That means, right?
If he goes for a Hess at the top, then he has one extra. If he goes for Super Slide, then it's bomb perfect.
Well, you used the Gwei hover, so you should only take 8 explosives
Not
to get up there.
It can be 8, but you need absolute perfect hovers. It's usually 9 hovers to
Yeah.
get up. Yeah, he's
Looks like
using
this
9
one
to
will
go
be
up.
9. Ooh, that was
That was extremely close. That Gwei could have pretty much given TKC a massive lead.
that hover was also very close.
Did he get it?
He got it. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he got it. He just needed to advance a few frames. Bomb perfect, but CMA does get it all completed.
He started the super slide really close to the edge, so probably why he wanted to pause so quickly after.
Yeah, I don't blame him. TKC gets his low high ground clip gate skip. There's a mouthful, but does get it successfully, and we'll see if he goes for a full wasteland here. That strat from CMA always scares the bejesus out of me.
He also has 11 explosives, so if he voids here, he needs to walk. Oh, did he do the thing where he runs into the...
The pillar, and yeah, the
Yeah.
pillar damage injures him. And uses the invincibility from the pillar hitting him to avoid getting wrecked by the big boy.
Yeah, that is... I mean,
Yeah,
I know it's a lot more consistent than it looks, obviously, but...
Yeah, it just looks Monka-esque, but it's actually, you know, Pepe hands.
Wow, very bad luck. Out of the 50% bomb drop rate, Armos, he got 1 bomb drop.
Yeah. And TKC opted just to go for a half Wasteland Hess, so only saves about half the time as a full Wasteland Hess, but is significantly easier.
Plus, if he voided, he would have had to have walked. So,
Yeah. So what CMA is doing now is this pot here will actually keep dropping bombs until you pick up a bomb, and then it won't drop bombs again. So you can actually get it to spawn up to 3 drops there. Now, he only went for 2 drops, so he's got 14 bombs to finish this run with, which is pretty scary, to be honest. Good statue climb.
TKC is now on the
Spirit hover.
hover. He also got the Gwei hover. It was a really high one, too, so...
Yeah. Good boss key skip from CMA there. He's going to be on to his Naboo fight. The Gwei's coming down for TKC.
He's not going to scare us like CMA did. And it looks like a good height hover.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not too far back. Yeah, that's good.
Whew.
Slightly off aim there.
Okay.
Almost dipped down.
Oh, this is terrifying.
Oh no. Okay, that works. That's a way to move down a little bit. I didn't know you could just swing your sword a bit there.
I did not know that.
I might have to mess around with that a bit. Make sure it's as easy as it looks, but...
Could have just been an accident. We don't know.
It could have been, but I mean, sometimes it could have been accidental genius, too. So CMA should be... Oh, CMA didn't go for Naboo Knuckle Skip. Maybe knows that he's pretty far ahead, doesn't want to risk a potential, race killer here, because if you were to dodge a Naboo Knuckle, then you go all the way back to the front of the temple instead of going back to your last entrance, and
Yeah,
ends up
and
losing
TKC did it
quite a
too.
few minutes. TKC opting not to grab the hearts there, which hopefully he has enough health for the rest of this, because you do lose quite a bit of health going for Naboo Knuckle Skip, the statue climb, and the low height ground part. I think he's gonna need to get some health somewhere.
He can get
From the floating pot, but he
Yeah, he
really
was gonna
should
get
have.
one
Oh,
from
he
that.
got lucky there.
He gets a bit better luck than his teammate on his bomb drops here.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see if he opts to go for the same 14 bomb count as CMA, or if he actually reloads the pot twice and goes for a much safer 19 bomb count.
He is opting for the 19. And maybe he might just not like getting the one up on that ledge. Sometimes you can get trolled by that BMOS. No, he's going for it. Fortunately, and unfortunately, we saw both of them miss boat skip one time and then got spirit hover. So the race is relatively close. There wasn't a major blowout on either side.
Yeah, the only major mistake has been the one frame over buffer on that boat skip. As well as, I guess, the second cycle in bottom of the well is a little slow, but... And TKC gets a boss key skip unbuffered as well. I was interested to see if CMA was going to be able to get that hit off there, because sometimes the one half of Trorover will block for the other half. We'll see if TKC goes for the Nibiru Knuckle skip. I'd imagine he would, because he should know he's behind.
I imagine so too.
And it is about a 30-second time save.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. When he started pausing for that last slash there, so he does 9.5 hits basically, so that one bomb will kill Naboo Knuckle, and then
and got it.
Flips out of bounds. That was spooky. By using the hook shot.
I held my breath a little bit there. Yeah, that was very scary. So TKC is officially one Twin Rova fight behind.
Yeah. CMA is on a really good pace right now. I think he's still on 116 pace.
If not very low, 117.
Yeah. Well, his split say right now, yeah, like he should be able to get like a 116.30-ish.
Yep, pretty. Right on the dot.
Well, we've been live for just over an hour. Everyone make sure you consume at least 4 ounces of water to maintain optimal hydration. Well, that was weird. Did you see TKC's shield there? He was like aiming to the left and it reflected to the right.
I did not actually see that.
I don't know if maybe he just like flicked his shield to the right for like a frame or two and it made it like jump over to the right, but he's not having the best luck with Trollrover right now. Neither
No.
did CMA though, so. And Trez,
Yeah, actually,
yes,
looks like
Trez can drink beer instead. But for the rest of you, I would recommend maintaining optimal hydration.
Hello, welcome to Zelda Speedruns.
Alright, no more beer.
And he's cut
you
off. So CMA is now making use of that minuet that he picked up with the minuet skip earlier, saving a bunch of time, as opposed to hoofing it all the way to Forest Temple.
That would be quite the trek.
And TKC finishes off Troro over there.
This way of skipping the wolves saves a couple seconds, but sometimes they can just get you.
Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to execute, and more can go wrong with it. But at least he didn't get trolled by hopping over to that key there. Well, not half the time, but like, it can feel like it sometimes. But sometimes when you try to jump there, Link opts not to jump and just falls off.
That would never happen in a world record run, though, right?
Yeah, the world record wouldn't lose like a lot of time in Forest Temple. Oh wait. So it looks like there's about a 3.5 minute gap between the two runners right now.
Does CMA use switch targeting?
I don't know, but it looked like it there.
That's my official question for CMA.
Because that really, like, either he spammed Z there, or he's on switch targeting. And that didn't look like a Z spam.
No, it did not.
So TKC wins the race by default now.
But he's closer to a task. I love the oh yeah, that's right. That's part of it. I love this way of doing this damage boost. That CMA does it.
Yeah, it puts you like right beside the door.
It just looks so much cooler too. I really should look into it. It's an interesting way of getting that angle.
Yeah.
Never seen that.
Me neither, but can't argue with the results, so. CMA is basically throwing ground jumps by trying to pick up a bomb, but also shielding it.
Oof.
I said by picking up a bomb, but also shielding it. Thank you, CMA. Link will actually jump the next time you try to backflip or side hop. Oh, someone patched CMA's game on him.
They do call it the impossible jump. interested if he goes for the.
Well, what's so
I never-
dangerous is his bomb count, right?
Yeah, I
'Cause now
never,
he's
I
gonna
never see
have
anyone.
4 bombs for the rest of the run after this.
I wonder if it's just really. There's like a. You can from the other side of this blue block. You can clip through it. And save a bomb if you fail impossible. And for
Yeah.
races, it seems like a good idea.
Well, this just became a bomb perfect finish for CMA. He's gonna have 1 bomb to make a side hop, 1 bomb for Void Warp, and 2 bombs to super slide into Gammon. Won't be able to go for any of the Hesses to impress or anything, and if he messes up a bomb trick, he is gonna be at a pretty major time loss.
Yeah, I know. Last week when he ran a, I think he had 1 extra bomb and he didn't go for any extra farming. I am interested to see if now that he knows he's playing ahead, if he'll go for it. It is kind of risky when you're bomb perfect, because if you waste 2 bombs throwing at the Armos or the Beamos.
TKC just died to a Selfos.
Oh.
Mind you, it's a good set of Stalfos to die to, but I mean,
Oh,
there's really
okay.
no good set to die to, but it's only a little bit of time loss. But F's in the chat. Pay respects to TKC's life there.
I do believe he was going into that fight on 1 heart though from Spirit Temple, right?
Yeah, he had been going
Yeah.
into it with 1 heart.
That is the one scary part about doing Nibiru skip and skipping the Spirit Heart containers. That Stalfos fight.
Yeah, especially if you skipped the other heart container too, so you didn't start at 4 hearts instead of 3 there. Because a lot of the time you can still have an extra like heart and a half or so entering that fight, and then you really only have to worry about the jump flashes, which are pretty telegraphed.
Okay, well, CMA is now entering snacks, so everyone go grab your snack. Meanwhile, we'll finish watching TKC finish up Forest Temple.
Yep. I don't see Cruxer here to make any bad jokes about relaxing, so... The 4 pause there goes for the old school strats there. But does end up having to 4 pause it. We'll see if he can successfully navigate the patched jump.
New No I Am Wrong Warp does not skip the bow. It still needs the bow.
Yeah, new No I Am Wrong Warp does everything that this category does, but then also gets bottle and skips the cutscenes.
Also does Doom Jump.
Depending on the route, yeah. I think the Doom Jump route is slightly faster, but quite a bit harder. That was different movement there by TKC to do the patched roll, but...
The hard part about the Doom Jump route is you don't wanna have bugs for the Spirit CS skip on that one. I mean, actually on both I think you do.
Yeah, the bugs are annoying. You gotta side hop and then wait for them to come back to you, and then side hop back and try to pick them up.
If anything, it's slightly less punishing to get a fish for Doom Jump route.
Still never forget the time that Stalfo saved my life. I was falling down the pit and he jump slashed me out of midair and knocked me back up out of the pit.
That is. Please tell me there's a clip of that.
Yeah, I think I called it Growest Stalfos of my life. It's somewhere in the Clips channel on the Discord. I think it was probably like 3 or 4 months ago. So TKC was able to successfully get his bow, beat those Stalfos without too much issue.
Looks like he's gonna be a lax behind. Looks like he's gonna be entering it right near the end. No. I'm underestimating how long this cutscene is.
So Ganon's gonna come along and scoop Zelda up now. And then Sime is gonna have to start his final quest of the run and go defeat Ganondorf and Ganon.
Wait. Sheik is Zelda?
Only in Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, okay. I could have swore I saw Sheik at the start of this cutscene.
I think you're mistaken. Oh, I forgot to do the laugh for Ganondorf there. Oh well. So now that Sime has watched the full Light Arrow cutscene, this Rainbow Bridge is going to be able to spawn for him. And then just 4 short text boxes, he'll have a nice Rainbow Bridge in front of him. And so we didn't touch on it before, but the reason that they only do Shadow Temple and Spirit Temple is those are the only 2 dungeons the game checks for to give you the light arrows. It assumes that if you've got those 2 dungeons that you've beaten the rest. So we only beat those 2 dungeons. And then make a brief stop.
Then the Rainbow Bridge only cares about having light arrows in your inventory.
I think it's the light arrow cutscene.
Yeah, light arrow, yeah, because no wrong warp has to do the hover over here even. Yeah.
And then they make a brief stop just to grab the bow in Forest Temple, but nothing else. So Sime pausing, saving. I'm wondering if he's going to try to farm bombs from one of the BMOs here.
Nope. It might just be so if he fails trial skip, he could just reset. Because he knows he's bomb perfect.
Yeah.
Interested to see if... I guess there's actually no reason to save here as well, because...
Yeah, once you're in here, if you die, you die. You end up back at this part, so... That was almost like the most godly fight against the dinos there, but still pretty good.
Yeah, the second one trolled him a little bit. Didn't want to get hit. on the second spin attack, but was still very, very good fight.
Yeah, normally those dinos will troll you a little bit harder. Not bad stall post there either.
Neither of them jumped up on the chest and then
Just decided to hide in
killed
there.
him.
I've had to go into that fire, and like the one time I hit him 2 times and needed the final hit, and it just would not come out of the fire. So I jump slashed into the fire, took the hit, and finished him off.
And usually, if that first phase of double knuckles goes well, then the second phase will. As long if they both stay synced.
Even if they
Scary.
desync, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, the only scary time is if they desync in phase 1. Sometimes phase 2 can be a little hard, but sometimes.
Yeah, or when they desync and one of them reflects you backwards, but the other one's just coming at you. Sometimes that can be a little scary and troublesome, but TKC has now done his light arrow cutscene though, and is going to be making his way towards that rainbow bridge.
Now, what's interesting is for Void Warp, CMA only has one shot at it because he only has one bomb. TKC only has one shot because he skipped Shadow Heart container.
Yeah. Mind you, TKC could always kill himself and go for it a second time, whereas CMA, if he messes it up, he's either going to have to go down the climb, which I think is slower than just going for it again and skipping / going for a 1-bomb super slide into Ganon.
Probably.
Because having to do first cycle with 10 hits definitely doesn't take an extra 2 minutes.
Yeah, it depends how confident you are in your fight. But I've seen CMA do that fight a couple times with no Master Sword.
We'll see if TKC goes for Staircase Hover for the Mega Side Hop. It looks like he's going for Mega Side... Oh. Yep, Mega Side Hop. Which I believe is slightly slower than the Staircase Hover, but only by like a second or something like that.
I think someone recently timed it. I think it was Smash Mac. It was just barely slower.
Yeah, I remember seeing some timing too about keeping hover boots on until at the top of that like little
the top
spirally
stairs.
staircase. I think that worked out to be slightly faster. Well, TKC using those nuts he picked up in Shadow Temple there for the dinos as well as the second set of stall posts, I believe, in Forest Temple.
Yes, yeah, that was where he used the other ones. Those ones behaved a lot more than those Dynalphos, though.
The last Stallfos was playing games with TKC there, but he eventually does get him down. So it's going to be Moment of Truth coming up soon for CMA. I think last time he waited to do the side hop with the bomb until after he saw a rock spawn, just to be sure he wouldn't get rock trolled, so I wouldn't be surprised if I saw him go for that again.
I need to remember to steal that.
Yeah, I need to remember to steal that.
If I ever do this category again.
Or any category with Void Warp. Nice synchronized double knuckles from TKC.
Yep, there he is. Oh!
You accidentally jump slashes. Not the end of the world, but... He shielded that backwards.
And
Okay, the rock didn't hit him there. I was a little worried about that one that was at the edge there, because those ones sometimes don't make shadows and just hit you. And there's no
yeah,
real way to dodge them.
I didn't want to say anything. But
I was low-key kind of hoping it was, just for a close race, but... I mean, CMA's earned his time. And we'll see if CMA... I mean, everyone goes for the kiss, ideally, here.
question is he going to use a
not
setup?
to. It saves like a frame.
Good. No setup.
Yeah, you don't want to do a setup there because that's just forced. And you know what? No one likes a forced kiss. Unless it's double kiss, and then it's swaggy enough that it's not forced.
Can you... Or are you just talking about the super slide? I was like, can you actually get to the first one?
Yeah, I know, you have to super slide for that one. I hope TKC has the bombs to go for the double kiss. Hopefully he goes for it just for swag. I think it also saves like a second or two if you go for it and you get it, so...
I think he has 10 bombs, so he's got way more than enough for 9.
Yeah, he's got a healthy bomb count.
And clean Ganondorf fight. Very clean.
Yeah, nice quick ISG. Sometimes that can be a little troll to get.
Especially on
N64.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of lag there, and ISG feels totally different in the fight. But on VC, it's just a little bit delayed, I feel.
And CMA got the super slide into Ganon. So he will not be fighting him with a hookshot this run.
Or light arrows. I find the light arrows a little bit easier to do the fight with just because they fire faster, and sometimes you can get in a second hit before Ganon turns around all the way. But I might just have a little bit too much experience with screwing up my final super slide.
Yeah, I've actually never had to fight Ganon without a sword, so...
On N64, with all the extra lag, it's not fun. I die a lot to that. If I've got my sword, I don't die because it's like, it's a free fight. But the moment I'm doing that, sometimes I just derp. So
Granted, I think I've only gotten to this stage of a GSR run about 3 times. Oh. Yeah.
TKC's gonna have to kill himself.
That's the risk of skipping the Shadow Heart, but...
Yeah, does not have enough health to go for the trick anymore, so he does have to kill himself, and then start again with 3 hearts.
One interesting thing with new No I Am Wrong Warp is because you get a bottle.
That was close to CMA just getting wrecked by Ganon.
You can pick up a fairy and forest temple. Ooh!
That one wasn't as close.
You can pick up a fairy and forest temple, and then if you die to void warp, you can do a
so
like
that
a
about all that does it. It looks like CMA will be your winner. It looks like TKC had something happen again there while I was watching the fight. Didn't catch exactly what happened, but he must have got hit by another rock. Definitely the dangers of not getting that extra heart container. Does get it this time though. But CMA is your winner with an 118-27. So congrats to him. He'll be moving on to winners final or losers finals against the loser of either Cruxer or Bonnaroo.
That's gonna be a good race too.
I mean, all the
these are
races
all
left.
gonna be incredible from this point. Yeah. What am I thinking? He did get the double kiss.
Yep, he went for it. He got it. It took him 2 tries, but that probably, I don't know, more or less evens out. The little scoot of a kiss there.
Overall, it was actually a good, decently close race. It basically was just a Ganon fight away, and
Yeah,
like going into collapse.
yeah. If TKC didn't screw up his boats or his Shadow BK skip, then this would have been a very close race. But it was still definitely a nail biter because if CMA had gotten hit by either one of those Ganon slashes there, then TKC had a good chance to pull ahead. So
Yeah, especially since CMA had no bombs, so he was going down the tower if that happened.
yeah, he was going down the long way, spending an extra like 2 minutes going down, and then an extra like minute on the Ganon fight. That probably would have been TKC's race.
Almost assuredly. Yeah, plus, if anything went wrong with the explosive routing at the end there, he was going down the tower. But CMA is showing, just like last week, his end game is extremely consistent.
Yeah, I think he lost about a minute in Forest Temple. I'm trying to figure out exactly where he lost all that time in Forest. Oh, right, he failed the patched jump.
Yep. And that was also why his explosives were so tight.
Yeah, but again, congratulations to him. He is our winner, and TKC is just going to be finishing up his Ganon fight now. Does get the super slide into the fight. What the super slide does is it lets you stay in a busy state where Link actually can't have his sword smacked away from him, even though visually a sword does go flying away. Uh, Link's too busy holding his shield for that to be the one on his back, so. And what that does is it allows you to do the first cycle of the fight in 3 power crouch stabs as opposed to 10 hits from something else, making the end fight quite a bit quicker.
And quite a bit easier.
Yeah, definitely. So normally in this first cycle here, you wouldn't still have your sword, but because of the super slide, you keep the sword, and you can kill Ganon by doing the first 3 hits here. And his health actually not so much carries over, but it's a full pool of 30. And once you get past 10 or more, then he gets in his first stun state. But because you do 12 damage there, it actually allows you to finish him off in only 5 hits on round 2 as opposed to 6 hits, because that jump slash there, when he's down, only does 2 damage. For whatever reason, he just takes 2 damage from whatever attack when he's in that down state. Shoutouts to Dotso for doing all that math and figuring that all out.
It was a very clean Ganon fight.
Yep, still not a terrible time from TKC. It looks like he's going to be getting just a touch over a 123, I believe. Yeah, 123.05. But congratulations to both runners. It was a pretty good nail-biter of a race.
Yep, both of them played very well.
And now I'm going to be interested to see if we can find out from CMA if he's on Switch targeting.
Yeah, that's the question everyone wants to know. As Trez said, we might have to Might have to reverse the results.
I can confirm he is on Switch targeting. Well, this means CMA is now disqualified from the GSR tournament 2019.
It's interesting. I tried using it once. It's very weird.
Horrible.
Yeah, people have been shot for less, but okay.
Whoa! Wow.
All right. Let's go back to professionalism. Yeah, GG. CMA making it to the losers bracket finals, and sadly, tkc is out of the tournament.
He
Will
made
be
it very,
finishing
very
in-
far.
Yeah, 4th place is out of 32 is no slouch. So congrats to TKC on his 4th place finish. And good luck in his future runs. And for CMA, I'm sure he's going to be practicing still because he knows whoever he gets between Crux or Urbano is it's going to be one hell of a match for him to play.
CMA just said that he prefers switch targeting because releasing target is faster than switch target. That's what he said.
Releasing it is faster.
Yeah. Still not good enough to embrace the devil, CMA. Just saying. But yeah, just kidding. If it works, I guess.
Well, the ZFG also uses switch targeting, so he's not alone in the incredibly skilled runners in using switch targeting.
I mean, it's not.
Maybe we're all wrong.
I mean, it's not like a secret that ZFG secretly sucks at OOT, right? He's just pretending to be a good speedrunner at this game. I mean, how can you fail a fall off the boat so often if you're good at OOT? Okay, I'm getting in trouble here, so I better stop.
All the ZFG mads in chat.
Nah, just kidding. But yeah, yeah, CMA, you got it. Pro players... No, wait, stop. That's not what I meant.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You heard it here, folks. Straight from Trez. Pro players use switch targeting.
I probably get in trouble with the random community for saying that. Alright. So we have only 3 more matches remaining. Potentially the best of 3 or best of 2 in the grand finals. And only 3 players remain. We'll find out who CMA will be facing after the winner's bracket final has been played. I believe that's not scheduled yet, but we'll keep you all in the running. And before we close, big shout out to Mopsy and to Beefry, doing this commentary without any sleep at like 7 a.m. in the morning their time.
7:30 here.
Yeah, 7:30.
It's 8:30 for me now.
All right.
Tried to be as awake as I could for it.
It was.
Make sure I drank all my tea.
It was a pleasure, guys. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I want to say, send the 2 guys to bed, so we're cutting early here. And yeah, catch you all next stream. We'll have plenty of stuff today. To be fair, it's just rando today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 random matches today. So
7 random matches to get mad at Trez for saying that pro players use switch targeting.
Yeah, anyone who's here for the rando matches later, make sure chat knows that Trez endorsed switch targeting.
I wanted to ban it from the OTR website. Come on. Alright folks, take care and catch you later.
Have a good day, everyone.